Bearded Warriors is holding their monthly laundry day tomorrow, and they need your help. Every third Saturday of the month, the group picks up locals who are experiencing from homelessness and takes them to a nearby laundromat to wash and dry their clothes. But in order to do this, they need volunteers to drive people to and from the laundromat.
Everything that we always do is people driven. We need volunteers to help direct people from the washers and the dryers, or because we collaborate with Shower Up Huntsville and a couple other organizations to getting people from haircuts to the showers to the laundry.
They also take donations of laundry detergent and cleaning supplies for their laundry days. For more information, visit rocketcitynow.com.